It is Saturday, November 8th, 2025, and I have finished up to season 11, episode 11 of Grey's Anatomy. And I know you guys warned me. You guys warned me that this would be hard. Whatever I was thinking in my head, it was infinitely worse. I think first let's start with something that didn't make me cry hysterically and like, God, it was so bad. I like this friendship being forged with Meredith and Amelia and Maggie. I really like Maggie as a character, and Amelia is wonderful. It's oh my god, because now whenever I think about Amelia, I think about the end of season 11, episode 11, where it would like she was like apparently Amelia had a miscarriage, and that's horrible, and like that's why she knew how to deal with the horrible thing that we need to talk about. You know what? Let's just talk about the horrible thing. These two we're about halfway through their pregnancy. April sits down to what looks like a routine ultrasound. Jackson's ex girlfriend is doing the ultrasound, which is already like kind of awkward. And April's feeling like kind of self conscious, and she's like, "Hey, we don't really want to know the gender." And Stephanie kind of like blurts out the gender, and April's like kind of upset. But then Stephanie kind of sees something on the ultrasound, and she's like, "I need to check to see what this is. Like, that doesn't look good." So she goes to Arizona, and Arizona brings it to her new boss because Arizona's not like an attending or a department head anymore. She's a fellow for like a fetal surgeon who has a brain tumor, which is a whole other thing we got to get into later. But she confirms that yeah, there's something wrong with the baby. Like we do need to like figure something out. And then she says something like she's like, "Oh, it's kind of a shame. Like the baby is like sitting in like a position like apparently it was like a Buddha like sitting cross-legged inside of April." Unbeknownst to Stephanie, Jackson was coming out of the elevator and he heard this and he immediately knew it was about his baby and he was just like, "You need to tell me what's going on." So it is Jackson who is the one to tell April that something is wrong with their baby, and April just goes the fuck off on Stephanie. Meanwhile, like Stephanie is a resident. Like I don't think she was gonna be able to diagnose like the exact thing that their baby had, you know? So then they go for more tests, and it's like this thing. Oh God, what was it called? It's like something where like their bones break in utero, which sounds horrifying. Oh my God. So now they have to kind of contend with this moral quandary. Well, not Jackson so much because Jackson is like an atheist and like from a super science based household. So he's just like, yeah, like we got to terminate. And April, being like the pro life virginity pact having girly that she is, she's like, no, like miracles happen. God would not allow this to happen to our child. Oh my God, I'm going to be so sad again. But then Jackson's mom flies in, like Richard's ex girlfriend, and she's very, very kind. I think it's the kindest that I've seen her be to April this whole time. And April's just like, yeah, like we're gonna, like, maybe this will happen for us. Maybe the baby will be okay. And Catherine is just looking at Jackson like, oh no. So it takes April a little bit to like get into the headspace where like she's can deal with everything, but then eventually the baby's born. His name is Samuel. He lives for like minutes and then he goes, and it's just the saddest shit. And then running concurrently to this is like this storyline where like this woman, she got shot in the shoulder by accident, but then she didn't know that she was pregnant, and they found out like right as they were about to like put her under the anesthesia to take care of the gunshot wound. So they needed to like do this delivery, and she's straining and straining and she's pulling on this gunshot wound or whatever. And the dad's just like, "We were trying for so long and they told us that we couldn't have kids, and now we have a baby. It's been a day." And I was just sitting here sobbing. Like this show has made me cry exactly once, and it was the season 7 finale. This show fucking got me. And then there's this whole scene where like Jackson is praying and he's just like, "I don't really believe in you. Like I never really gave a shit, but like April does. Like I need you to show up for her." And then April ends up having a conversation with like a girl whose fiance had died, and she had noticed her crying, and there was like some confusion with like some labs, and April kind of gets to the bottom of it because April is in a place where she can't deal with what's happening to her and to Jackson and to their baby and all of that. And she like runs away and she's like, "I'm gonna go back to work. Like I'm like this is not happening right now." And then she meets this lady, and then Jackson finds her and she's just like, "Okay, like I think I helped her like deal with what she needs to deal with, and I think I'm ready to do this now." And I just that was I don't even know what to say. Like that was, oh my God. And there is so much other shit to cover. Callie and Arizona are finally getting divorced. excellent. I mean, not for them, not for Sophia, but like excellent. Like God, their marriage was on thin ice this whole time. And then before they were getting divorced, they were trying to get like a surrogate thing going, and it was weird because Arizona had just started this new fellowship with the fetal surgeon lady. And honestly, another thing that was kind of a mind fuck to me as like a trying to conceive person watching everything happen to Jackson and April, Gina Davis is essentially just like, I have found you all the most fucked up fetal surgeon cases, and I'm just like, there's so many things. There are so many things that can go wrong. There are so many things. Like you could like, oh my God. And I don't think that we're educated enough about like the things that can happen to fetuses and to women during pregnancy. It's just it's so much. And I feel like I want to have a kid, and like we're trying and all of that, but we don't know enough about tiny fetal bodies, and like I feel like I need to find out now. But yeah, they're getting divorced. They went to marriage counseling because Callie took on this project with some war veterans, and Arizona started this fellowship, and clearly they did not have time for a baby, but Callie still wanted a baby. And they're just like, and she's just like, we're outside the surrogacy office and you're kind of dropping this shit on me. Do you want to have a baby or not? And then they went to counseling and they did like this trial separation, and Callie was like being a stage 5 clinger, like not willing to do the assignment. And then by the time it was over, Callie's just like, I feel free and I want you to feel free too. Like peace out, I'm done. And I guess like they're trying to work their shit out. Arizona lives with Alex and Joe now, and also we got to talk about Alex and Joe. Like, yes, they're adorable, they're cute. Like I'm like, this relationship is growing on me as a diehard Izzy Stevens girly. But Alex is also taking Christina's place, it seems, as Meredith's person. Alex does not seem to be cottoning onto this job very well. And Meredith just kind of keeps doing shit that like her and Christina were cool with, but then Joe is just kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? And there was something that was like really telling to me that I feel like spells trouble for them. It's like when Arizona, the day that Arizona moved in to like the house that Alex owns now, the like Maggie and Meredith and I think Amelia and no, Callie, it was Callie because I remember this now as Callie. And Alex, all of them, they're sitting in the living room and they're talking and they're shooting the shit. And Joe is in another room at the end, like a couple rooms away, kind of watching what's going on by herself. Like they're not like including her or anything. And Joe's the one who lives there. It was very weird to me. I didn't like it. When Meredith and Christina did their shit, they did like their person shit, and I thought that was beautiful. I think the reason why that worked is because Derek and Burke and Owen eventually understood that about them. And I think that Joe doesn't like, it's different because Joe doesn't have like the same level of power in this dynamic, and like I could see how she would feel really insecure about this. And I think Meredith is trying to replicate her relationship with Christina, and like that symbiotic thing that they had going, but like that's not really how friendship works. And I think she's got to figure out the boundaries with Alex because this shit isn't working for anybody. I do miss Christina, like her presence, like her absence is felt, but I do feel like Maggie is wonderful right now, and I really do like her as a character. There was also this thing early on where Christina gave Alex her shares in the hospital because she's not going to be a board member anymore because she lives in Switzerland, whatever. But they wanted Bailey to take her spot. So there was like this competition happening and Alex lost and then Bailey won like unanimously. And it was like this whole thing. And that drama has kind of largely settled now. Okay, fine. And Derek, this motherfucker, I'm completely torn up about what happened to Jackson and April and their baby and all of that. But I will always have smoke for Derek fucking Shepard. He was being an absolute horrible brother to Amelia because Amelia has like some drug issues apparently. She also had like a baby die on her, like after like she said like 45 minutes. Is crazy. So like Amelia's been through a lot. And Derek tried to take the job that he gave to her because he was supposed to go to Washington and he didn't do it. And then he ends up going to Washington anyway because he's gone, like he left. But it took him a while to leave. And while he was leaving, he was being like really cutthroat and nasty to everybody. Amelia's status as a narcotics addict gets outed by a patient's family, and Derek tries to steal her job from it. But then he like immediately backpedals and whatever. But for Amelia, the damage is done. There's legit so much shit to cover in these episodes. I didn't even cover it because I'm just so stuck on Jackson and April. Like I have more to say, but oh my God, I gotta recover.